You guys want to talk about axes? Well, this didn't work out. So what we're talking about today is the Council Tool FE8 fire axe. This is brand new this year. A couple months ago, they just came out with this beast of an axe, and it's pretty cool. I picked one up with the intentions of it being a splitting axe. And it's not so great. Now, let's be fully transparent here. Council Tool never ever said that this was for splitting firewood. In fact, it is a fire axe. It is designed to do fire axe things, whatever that is, not to split wood. Now, the reason why I thought maybe it might be a good wood splitter is because of the FE6, which came out previously, a couple years ago, which is also a fire axe, but it's a 6 pound. The FE8 is 8 pounds. See where now the FE6 is a fantastic firewood splitting axe. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but I'm sure it's a great fire axe too. I don't know. I'm not a fireman, nor do I pretend to be one on YouTube. But this axe does really good splitting wood, and it's because it has a really good profile for splitting wood. You can see it gets pretty wide pretty quick behind the blade, and then continues on. So if you look at it, it looks like a wedge, but in a convex manner. This does excellent for splitting wood because the bit bites in, and then the cheeks help spread the wood apart, and it doesn't get stuck in the wood when you're splitting it. Unlike the FE8, you'll see in the video I'm playing in the background, it gets stuck a lot. It's because the bit is thinner profile. Like so. So it is a monster of an axe, but it is too thin of a profile to be an excellent splitter. Now, is there stuff we could probably do to the bit on this to make it a little better of a splitter? Probably, absolutely. We could probably work on it, make it better, make it work. But, you know, again, it's not really designed to be a splitting axe. Nor is the FE6, but the FE6, like I said, there's videos of me using that axe on my channel to split firewood. You can see the difference. If you care to go look around, maybe if I think of it, I'll link it in this video. You can go watch. But FE6 is one of my go-to axes for splitting firewood. I don't use it all the time, but I use it often. One of the cool things about the FE8 is the handle. I do like this handle. I might see if they sell replacement handles and buy one of these and put it on my FE6 because I like the length. What is that thing? Yeah, 32 inches overall versus the FE6 is right at 35. So I do prefer a shorter handle, and this one is straight, which is also a preference of mine. It's got a pretty cool little palm swell here that's the design is to be comfortable using forward or reverse. So if you wanted to use the pole to bang stuff, you could. Boy, this thing's heavy. Which would be nice on the FE6. I could see that FE6 being an actual wedge banger. I mean, it's got a nice big wide pole. I can't remember if the pole's hardened or not. It probably is. I don't know. Doesn't really matter for pounding plastic wedges, I don't think. But I think this FE6 would be bang on this handle. So I need to research that, see if I can buy just this handle. That would be ideal. Other than that, you know, I did a little short on this video, and I talked about some of its flaws right out of the box. I was less than impressed with the fit and finish on this thing. I'm not going to beat on it too much in this video because some of this could have been from shipping. I don't know. The box it came in was not great. It was not great. And maybe it had gotten these scratches on the head from the shipping process, but I just find it hard to believe that was caused during shipping for a couple reasons. One, the box itself was in perfect condition. Although not packed great, there was no visible sign of any damage to the box whatsoever. It was in perfect condition. So then the other part is I don't see how cardboard could gouge the metal like that. So unless this thing fell out of the box onto some concrete, and they repacked it in a nicer box, I don't know. And there was no delay in the transit. So I'm not so convinced that it was done in shipping. I'm not going to argue it either way. It is what it is. I care, but I don't. I'm not. My expectations weren't super high for this axe in its price point, although it really should be. Like, the price point wise, I don't know, if a little bit more care and fit and finish would certainly be warranted for the price point, I think. But I know previous axes that I've gotten from Council Tool have all been pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with them. Like this FE6, the fit and finish on the head is fantastic. It's, you know, it's a forged finish, but it's smooth. There's no extra gouges anywhere. I did work on the edge. I've worked on this edge a little bit since I've gotten it. I see there's a chip in the bit there I need to work on. Probably hit a rock like all you guys tell me I'm going to do. This really, it looks like, to me, it looks like it skidded across the grinder. I don't know. I'm not real impressed with the pole work here. It's just very unfinished. So, I don't know. Top of the eye, also very unfinished. You know what I think I might do? I don't know. I might spend some time on this head at some point and try to dial it in, make it a little better splitter. I think I could probably with the edge, but right how it's set up now, it just gets stuck in the wood. And that's what's where it wears you out. It's not swinging the axe. It's getting the axe unstuck from the wood is what wears you out, in my opinion, because it's extra work. So last bad thing I will talk about on this axe is the actual handle again. Although I love the shape of the handle, and at first glance, this handle looks fantastic. You're like, oh yeah, it's got perfect grain. Look at that. But then when you look down the side of it, this is textbook runout, which is, you see how the grain goes this way, goes this way, goes this way, goes this way? That is textbook runout, and that is absolutely the worst possible scenario you could want in an axe handle. You could spin this grain orientation 90 degrees and it would be better than having that much run out in a handle. Oh, that's rough. And I know I sold handles and I was very particular on the handles I did sell, but that was because I didn't want problems with the end user. So I took care to make sure what I shipped out was, in my opinion, the best you could get. Now, I was able to do that because I was working on a small capacity. You know, I wasn't selling to the masses. I could take the time to do that. But I also don't feel like, I feel like we spend way too much time worrying about handles, and too many good pieces of wood get passed over because we're worried about getting textbook internet says grain orientation. I just don't think it's that important. I do feel a little uneasy about the grain run out in this handle, and so far so good. It didn't break using it in this video. So you know, maybe this is something I don't need to worry about. I don't know. We'll find out. if I spend the time to dial the head in and see if I can get this thing to work a little better as a splitting axe, you know, we'll see how long the handle holds up. But I don't know, it's a cool axe. I don't mean to pick on Council Tool. It is what it is with the condition that this axe came to me in. You know, I'll never really know what went wrong. And it isn't, at the end of the day, it doesn't affect the function. It's a cosmetic problem, you know, other than the handle run out. That's mechanical. But again, it's not a problem yet, and it may never be a problem. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to spend time fussing over it. What I am going to do is use the tool as intended and see what happens. That's all I can do. But that's pretty much it. That's what this thing is. I bought it because I thought it would be a cool splitting axe. That 2 more extra pounds would be beneficial, but in this case it didn't work out that way. So I'm not, you know, you don't know unless you try, and that's why I make these videos, to give you guys my experience and let you form an opinion from my experience to help you. Don't take everything I say as the gospel, and I want you to have your own experiences too. But if you're on the fence about something, I think you should understand going into it that, you know, this isn't a splitting axe. It wasn't designed to be a splitting axe, and it doesn't perform well as a splitting axe as is. That's what this video is for, and nothing more. The wood I'm splitting in this video is silver maple, which typically splits pretty easy. Now, I've said this in the past, not all trees are created equal. And just because a certain species split easy one time doesn't mean it's going to split easy the next. After I got done fooling around with this FE8, I switched over to the Adler Super Splitter, which got the job done. But again, that thing is designed to split wood. That's its only purpose in the world, is to split wood. And it did a good job, but it was still pretty tough. And then yesterday I was out splitting some more of it with the Fisker's 8-pound isocore maul. And again, it worked. It worked well, but I got to work out splitting that wood. So it wasn't the easiest wood in the world to split, but I don't live in a reality where I get to pick and choose what wood I'm going to split by hand and what wood I'm not. I don't have a log splitter. All I have are axes. Luckily, I don't have to split my stuff into very small pieces. I'm just trying to make it fit in the door of my wood boiler. Some pieces I don't have to split at all. So when I get to wood like that, I try to get it down to manageable pieces and move on. Although I do like splitting wood down to a size where it's easy to manipulate with one hand. I prefer that, but again, that's a lot of time and energy for really little gains. Like, it just makes it easier for me to load into the wood boiler when I could just use both hands and throw the piece in. So it's always a balance between work and play, because I enjoy doing this. But so I suspect if I were to try this FE8 on some a little bit more manageable, it would probably perform a little better. But as it's set up right now, it gets stuck pretty easy, and it goes deep because you're swinging 8 pounds. So when it gets stuck, it's in there deep and it's in there good, and it is a bit of a bear to get it unstuck from the wood. So I don't know, guys. I don't know if there's anything else to say about this axe. I'm sure it's a fantastic fire axe. I don't know, but I'm sure it's fantastic at doing what it's designed to do. This is one of those cases where I've taken a tool and used it outside of its scope of operation. And sometimes it works out. In the case of the FE6, it was fantastic. The thing works awesome, you know, and sometimes it doesn't. So no big deal, no fault to Council Tool. They didn't tell anybody that this was a splitting axe. They just said, hey, we got a new fire axe. Pretty cool. It does have a nice handle. I really like the shape of this handle. I wish the palm swell was a little wider, but I understand it. It doesn't, it's not necessary. That's just for looks. Other than that, that's all I got to say. Hope you guys enjoyed this opinionated video, and hopefully it helps somebody out who's looking at purchasing one of these for splitting wood. You know what to expect at minimum. I'm not saying don't buy it. Make up your own mind, and please, I encourage everyone to have their own experience. Don't just take what some guy on the internet has to say for, you know, not everything you see on the internet is true. I try to be as honest as I can and straightforward, and that's all I can offer. So we'll see you guys in the next video.